On today's wrestling news, Josh Alexander is headed to AEW.
Michelle McCool's been inducted into the Hall of Fame.
We've got the original plans for Ricky Stark's WWE debut.
And we've got some updates on Malakai Black and Miro after their AEW releases.
Are you ready? Are you ready for the news time? My name is Phil Chambers. I'm joined by Gareth Morgan to talk all things wrestling news. But first up, Josh Alexander. One of the kind of hottest names of like, where are they going to go kind of thing going on at the minute. Well, Fightful Select have come through, and apparently he is either very, very close to or already has signed with AEW. Now, this is coming from sources within AEW itself, as well as sources close to Josh himself. And he also has an agent who is Barry Bloom, a very famous wrestling agent who has very recently helped Okada, Ospreay, Omega, among others, get big deals with AEW, so he definitely has inroads there in terms of getting people signed. And none of this is to say that WWE wasn't interested at all. There were apparently plans within WWE to use Josh Alexander, being discussed anyway, back in 2024, late 2024, as kind of part of the TNA relationship that they've got going on. Basically, WWE stealing all the people they want from TNA. Yeah, so it's exciting times for Josh Alexander heading off to the big leagues. He's had a hell of a run in TNA. He's been there for almost 6 years. He's been like multiple time champion, like held records for the longest reigns and things like that. He's done very, very well in TNA, but time for him to kind of spread his wings and see what he can do on a bigger platform.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see what he does. Like, if he does obviously land in AEW, like being on that kind of stage week to week. I'll be completely honest, I've not seen an awful lot of Josh Alexander. I've seen little bits here or there, and whenever I see him, I'm like, wow, that's a very intense human. Almost as intense as Salty, like very, very close. But yeah, he seems like a dude that just captivates you straight away. So I hope that he gets, wherever he lands, he gets a good presentation. He's made to feel like a big star, like somebody that's going to change things up a little bit. And I just wish him all the best, because yeah, with all these like releases and like people leaving, like I think this is more a leaving than a release, obviously, but people like leaving different places, you just want them to go somewhere else and feel fresh and just get like a little spark and just get treated like megastars, really. I know not everyone can have, like, if everyone felt like a megastar, no one would be a megastar, I understand that, but when someone goes into a new place, there is always that little bit of, ooh, who's this? And it's nice to see that maintained rather than just, oh, who's this? And they're part of the furniture. It's like, you don't want that, which does happen every now and then. So I just hope that he doesn't get lost in the shuffle if he ends up in AEW, because we've seen that happen a few times over the last couple of years, and I hope there's a plan. That's the most important thing with all these people, as we're going to mention later on as well. We hope there's a plan and it's not just making it up as we go. Something that was seemingly planned, I'm just going to use that as a segue, seemingly planned, not sure for how long, but it's now come to fruition, is that Michelle McCool is in the Hall of Fame. She's going to be inducted into it this WrestleMania season, obviously. She's the second person that's been confirmed as a person in the Hall of Fame in this class of 2025. Obviously, Triple H, Papa H, is the first one, and he was the person who let her know that she was going to be joining him in this class, because he popped up during a Friday morning appearance on ESPN's Get Up. I've never watched that. Let me know if it's good. Hey, why not? And he surprised her. She was with The Undertaker. They were talking about the LFG series. No, it's not that. Legends and Future Greats, of course.
Weirdly looking forward to that show.
The more I'm seeing it, the more I'm seeing the clips, I'm like, this is actually a little bit of me. I'm well up for this.
It feels like old school Tough Enough. I'm all in.
Yeah, me too, man. It looks good. So yeah, they were talking about that. They were promoting it, and then Triple H pops up and he's saying, oh, well, you kind of got one over on me when you surprised me with the Hall of Fame stuff, so I'm going to surprise you now, you, Michelle. Like, it was weird. It was like it was almost like treating it like he was getting one over on The Undertaker, like as a bit of a joke, by surprising him by saying, oh, your wife's inducted. And in my mind I was like, don't just overshadow the fact this lovely woman is being inducted into the Hall of Fame and just making it like, it's a little nitpick, but it was one of them where I was like, can we make it all about her and not this stupid like getting one over each other thing? Just little thing that annoyed me. But here's what he said. It's an honor to have you go in. It's long overdue. You're one of the women that sort of transformed what we do and brought it into the modern era, that were the first to combine the athleticism with what we do. And just amazing. So happy for you, and what a well-deserved honour. Congratulations. And she said she was speechless, she was overwhelmed. It's hard to believe that you can deserve that honour, and it's just an honour. And I'm really glad that she's got in, because she has done an awful lot over the years. Like, probably goes a little underappreciated for how much, like, she was one of the, like, trailblazers is like a big word, but she was somebody who definitely, like, laid those foundations for what the women's division is now. Like, she was one of the first, like, really athletic stars within that division. And the creative was a bit weird at times. Like, we won't go into the whole, like, some of the weird lay cool stuff that was happening, but as a wrestler, as a performer, she definitely was somebody that probably inspired a lot of people and inspired a lot of this generation. So it's well deserved, obviously, really well deserved. And just another person coming into the class of 2025. There'll probably be more people, obviously, in the next couple of weeks, so we'll see who drops in next.
Yeah, it's one, don't think you can argue with this one at all. Like you say, just kind of ahead of her time a little bit in terms of, like, her in-ring work and what she was doing, but still mired with it's still WWE and it's still Vince McMahon running a women's division. It's gonna get a little bit weird at times, but along with like Beth Phoenixes of the world kind of thing, when like the sort of first people to sort of properly go in on the kind of athletic, like, proper wrestling aspect of the women's division in a time when that is not what WWE were looking for at all. So like you say, kind of blazing a trail. I was going to say trailing a blaze there, which is probably a very different thing. But
it's just an image, just an image. My brain was not ready for on this Saturday morning. That's trailing a blaze.
So congratulations to her. And speaking of trailing a blaze, why don't you do that at the WhatCulture live shows? I don't know what that means.
Everyone's going to be trailing a blaze. I can't wait.
We are going on tour. We are going to Manchester, Belfast, London, Manchester,
Manchester
Belfast,
twice. We're going
Glasgow,
twice.
London. I don't even know our own goddamn thing.
Come to Manchester twice. Why not?
And then we're going to Las Vegas. All of the UK tours are kind of surrounding the WWE UK tour. So if WWE is in town, you can come and see us beforehand, get some drinks, have a good old wrestling chat. There'll be meet and greets. Every ticket has a seat, and every show will be finished with plenty of time for you to get to the WWE event that night. They all before the WWE event, so it's all pre-shows. And then the I'm getting all of this mixed up. The Las Vegas leg of it is during SmackDown, so you can come watch us do our live podcast. There'll be a live ups and downs of SmackDown at the show, and there'll be a watch along of SmackDown on like ridiculously gigantic screen in the HyperX Arena. It's a really, really, really cool place. There'll be food and drink available. Every ticket gets a seat again, and it's just a big evening of like 4 till like 11 o'clock probably of just chatting wrestling, watching SmackDown, listening to some wrestling tunes, having a massive old hangout with us, and it's going to be a really, really good time. So whatculture.com/tickets for all of those. Come and say hello. Come and meet us.
If you're in town, just do it. Why? Like, if you're already in town, you might as well. Why not?
Exactly.
We're there.
Why not?
Be friendly.
whatculture.com/tickets. Now, switching over, speaking of people moving around all over the goddamn shop, Ricky Starks and his WWE debut. Now, Meltzer has a little bit of an update on what the original plans were for Ricky Starks in WWE, and it seems like they've been talking about this for quite a while now. I don't want to throw out words like contract tampering, but you know. But anyway, it is being said by Meltzer that even before his AEW release, WWE had plans for Ricky Starks to debut in NXT at a major event later this year. But they kind of sped up the process, obviously, as soon as he was available, because it was probably the quickest jump I've ever seen in the history of wrestling in terms of someone being released and then someone being signed again. Like, so fast, it's ridiculous. So yeah, obviously they've been in talks, and obviously this will lead to frustrations of Ricky Starks within AEW if he knows pretty much like for a fact that the moment he's out of his AEW contract, he has a WWE contract just sat there waiting for him. So you can see why he might have been getting more and more frustrated the longer this kind of went on within AEW. But yeah, there've been plans for a long time now, so this has been the plan. No word on what that major event might have been. Maybe it'll be the Stand and Deliver WrestleMania weekend show, or like another show down the line. Who the hell knows? That's all speculation on my part. But yeah, WWE have been planning this for a while now.
Yeah, which is it's not great. They kind of sat there just presuming that someone's going to be available when they're still very much under contract. Like we just don't want to assume these things and don't want to like put information out there that isn't concrete, but it does seem a bit like somebody knows something. Somebody spoke to somebody else and said
he's remarkable turnaround. Legal departments do not move that quickly.
No, that's it. It was rapid. Absolutely. You were just having the time to register what had happened. It was is that it? Okay, he's there, and it was great. I loved that. When I woke up that morning and just saw that, I was like, yes, this is wrestling. This is what I like. Just chaos, like unpredictability, and straight away, like we were saying before, it just makes somebody feel fresh. Right away, because you're like, wow, new setting, new place, didn't see it coming. You seem rejuvenated. I'm rejuvenated looking at you now as a character. Let's do this. Let's go. Yeah. So it's great for. It is probably great for all parties involved, really, because now AEW don't have somebody on the roster that doesn't necessarily want to be there, like evidently, like that's probably, again, I don't want to assume these kind of things, but if they did want to be there, they'd probably still be there. That's the way it is. So AEW have now freed up a bit of space, and they've got probably just more money to give to somebody else. Again, I'm just assuming here, and they can just use their money in a way that's going to benefit the product a little bit more, rather than just having someone on contract just sat there doing nothing, which is just not good for anybody. It's not good for your mental health either, just being sat there, just twiddling your thumbs. You want to be out there doing what you love, and hopefully he can smash it now in NXT. And speaking of people that obviously have left AEW, like over the last week it is, so Malakai Black and Miro, the two other big names that were released and let go. And the word now on the street is that WWE again are very much, interested. It seems like there are, I don't know if there are plans, but Meltzer has said here in The Observer, within this very similar part of the report, where he says the belief is that Black and Miro will also be in WWE very soon. So you like to think they're probably thinking of stuff. It wouldn't surprise me to see CJ Perry back involved with him, but that's less of a definite. So I'm assuming that's Miro, not Malakai Black, because that'd be unexpected. Those in WWE had said Creative had been talking about Black and Miro. So Creative had been having a sit there and having a chat. We don't know if that chat started before they got released or as they got released. I'll let you fill in those blanks yourself again. But with these, and I've seen a lot of talk, obviously, because they've all been released as a trio. There's been a lot of talk of who would you want to see in WWE again? Well, are they going to do well in WWE again? And I feel like, for me, they've all got loads of potential. The one I wanted to see the most was Ricky Starks, and he's gone now. The other two could do great things, I think, if they presented well. If they kind of have all the bells and whistles and smoke and mirrors, all that stuff, I think they could be great characters. I'm just not as captivated by it, because even though it was under a different regime, I've somewhat seen it before, and it was great at times, whereas Ricky Starks feels completely new, completely fresh, and I want to see where they go with it. So that's my 50p on that subject.
Yeah, I'm with you on the Ricky Starks thing. I think that's just exciting. And again, a guy, we talk about wrestlers who end up with chips on their shoulders and something to prove and then go on to do great things. He is 100% a guy with a chip on his shoulder and something to prove. So I'm excited to see what he does within WWE. But the Malakai Blacks and Miros of the world is more it's crowded in WWE in the minute. That the sort of mid-card to main event is a very crowded scene. So you've got to go and do something that stands out. I think Aleister Black, as I assume he will be in WWE. He's one of Triple H's boys, isn't he, from the old Black and Gold NXT? So I think he'll at least be in a good position on the main roster. But I feel like he needs to do something to mix up what his character is, because it's as much as he went through some terrible changes within WWE under the Vince McMahon regime, and them sitting in a darkened room picking fights on people. I think he needs something a little bit fresher than what he's been doing potentially. But at least Miro, he had the chance in AEW to show that he can do other things. The Redeemer character was completely different to anything he was doing in WWE and things like that. So he's had a chance to show a completely different side of him. So it'll be interesting to see what version of Miro we end up with in WWE. Is it going to be that sort of Redeemer type AEW character that I don't think AEW really ever capitalized on completely? or is he going to go back to being a Rusev kind of thing, especially if, like, with the talks of potentially CJ Perry being paired up with him again, which is interesting because they broke up last year. But I guess they're still on good terms, maybe, and like a Rusev-Lana pairing. Lana was always incredibly entertaining on WWE, so it's going to be interesting to see how they're packaged and what they end up coming in as. Because like I say, that main event mid-card scene is getting pretty goddamn stacked in WWE, so you're gonna have to do something special to stand out.
Do you know they need another belt? I'd get another belt.
Just another one, yeah, probably.
Just chuck it in. Why not? And another hour.
Give them both that.
Another hour on SmackDown and another belt. Why not? Let's have a 4-hour SmackDown with 6 singles titles.
Let's not do that. But let us know down in the comments what you think they should do, what characters you think they should come back as, and where they should fit into WWE. Let us know down below. And what else? Follow us over on the old social medias, every single one of the social medias. You can follow me at Phil My Chambers, and you can follow this guy over here
at gmorgan04 on X, at Gareth Morgram on Instagram, and then within that Instagram, if you're really interested in personal training, fitness, all that kind of stuff, at fitness.focus.gm.
Can't just keep it simple with one, can you?
No.
But thank you very much for watching. Click the video on the screen to continue on your YouTube journey, and most importantly, have yourselves a bloody good day.
And pick